Hi YouTube and welcome back to my Let's Play World of Warcraft on Wednesdays. If you are an existing fan of mine, you may notice that I am now posting this on a new channel, KleineGames, instead of KleineGuns. So just so you know, KleineGuns is going to go and be just a vlog again like it was back when I first launched it. And I'm going to be posting my gaming videos here. I'm not going to delete any of the videos on KleineGuns. They're in playlists already linked to this channel, but they're going to stay where they are. Because one, if I delete them, I might lose all the views that I had on them, and then I have to try and establish new views over here, and it's a lot of work. So I'm just going to leave them where they are. I'm just going to redo my channel page so that so that it looks more like a vlog, although you can still access all of my gaming videos. If you just go under videos, playlists, all the playlists are going to continue to exist there as well. Or you just subscribe to this channel, and you can get all the new games here as well as access. I'm going to link back to as many of my old games through this channel as well. Anyway, so as you can tell, I am doing the Botanica here in the Tempest Keep, which is over in the part of the Burning Crusade in the Outlands and things. It's one of these, it's kind of like a floating crystal, I don't know, building. And I think they were originally built by the Draenei. I think they're Draenei structures. And this particular one, the Botanica, is inhabited mostly by Blood Elves. So the Blood Elves have kind of taken over this Botanica thing. So in the Tempest Keep, there's 3 5-man dungeons, and Botanica being the first one, then Arcatraz, and finally the Mechanar. So those are the 3 that I'm going to be doing over the next several weeks. And then the final game for Burning Crusade is going to be the Magister's Terrace. And then after that we will transition over to Wrath of the Lich King and start doing those. So coming very close to the end of the Burning Crusade 5-man dungeons. I know a few folks have talked to me and said they'd love to see me try another raid. They had fun watching me attempt raids for the vanilla version, even though I was, failing miserably at most of them. And I forget the name of it. There's one that I might attempt. So there may or may not be a raid that I'll throw into the mix at some point between Burning Crusade and Wrath of the Lich King. And if you don't see that, well, then it means I failed at it again. Because solo raiding, I don't know, just not my forte apparently. It's just a little too difficult. Anyway, here we go. First boss, Commander Saranus, I believe. So we're going to take care of her. And we're basically doing quests for one of these glowing crystal entities that you find. I think a doll is the one that we're working for right now, and I think you can find them in Shatrath City here in the Outlands, and I think they're somewhat related to the Draenei. I'm not entirely sure exactly. I don't remember quite the history behind all of them, but at any rate, we are helping to save the Botanica, and you can see why it's called the Botanica in a moment here. You can see there's all these little kind of like walking, living flowers and stuff, frayers and things. So there's like all sorts of plant life and stuff here. I don't know exactly what this particular building was supposed to be, but it obviously was, botanical in nature. And here I just kind of ran through, and I'm just killing all the trash mobs that I aggroed, and I'm just ignoring any of the ones that I didn't. There's just too many of them. Alrighty, so now we've got this researcher here, and she does not look like a boss. But there's supposed to be a boss over here, so I'm like, okay, well, let's get rid of her first, and we'll see what happens, because she's definitely not a boss. So, I'm like, oh, I think I see him. There he is. High Botanist Freywin. And there's definitely something you can look through the window behind him. For a second there, you could see the final boss. I forget what his name is offhand, but we'll find that out in a moment. And if you're at level, that guy is, you know, definitely the toughest of all the bosses. Which makes sense. It makes sense that the final boss is always the toughest. And we're definitely starting to get into getting some of the more tough bosses at the ends of things like that. There was I forget which one it was. It wasn't in the Caverns of Time, but just prior to that, one of the final Coilfang Reservoir bosses was definitely, I think, one of the first really tough bosses I remember facing in terms of a 5-man raid. I think prior to that, bosses were usually not that tough for 5-man raids. I mean, you know, they're tough, but that guy was, like, you know, extremely tough, and actually started having some phases and things that normally you would see more often in raid bosses than you would in the dungeon bosses. So, and, you know, correct me if I'm wrong, and it's just, you know, my recollection of things could be completely incorrect, but alright, so I'm just gonna jump down here. There's another boss down here. One of these half goat, half human type, or humanoid goat type things. Yet another non-playable race within the World of Warcraft. These guys would make a good horde, species to play. Considering the horde is usually made up of all sorts of odd-looking creatures, other than us pretty little blood elves. Alright, so we killed the 3 bosses that Adal wanted us to kill. Now we've got the next quest here, culling the herd. And I kind of like this. I mean, since it's he's some kind of a celestial being of some kind, he just communicates with us telepathically, and so we don't have to run back and forth to him to pick up quests and stuff like that. So yeah, it kind of makes running through this actually quite easy. And actually, one of the nice things with the Botanica is that there's a kind of like a exit portal right after the main boss, so you don't have to run all the way back to the entrance to get out of here too. So I like that. Now with Arcatraz, you'll find that we won't have that, but it's supposed to be a prison, so I can see why they wouldn't want easy escape hatches. And here, because I've got to kill these mutated thingies, I've got to actually take on some of the trash mobs here. Alright, so I got all of that. Forget what I was looking for here. Ran back for some reason. I'm not quite sure what it was. Oh yeah, it was a rapidly evolving frond, which actually ends up being dropped from the next boss. So I was like, oh, whoops. Alright, moving right along, here's some more mutated things. Mutate horrors, fear shriekers. Where they come up with these names? Fear shrieker. Yeah, they definitely look mutated of something. Scary looking things. So yeah, I just need to, there we go. I think I got, yep, now I got everything there. Now I just need to go after the boss. I think Lol is his name, or her name, or its name. Since it's another big, giant, corrupted plant thing. I'll take on Lol. This is a super easy boss. Yep, there's the rapidly evolving frond. And now we'll get the quest to take on the final boss. So, yep, Warp Splinter is his name. I like the, or Lodge. Sorry, not Lol, Lodge, that was his name. I thought it was L-A-L there. I like those kind of crystalline entity creature things. I mean, I think they look really cool. And they're like, unlike most species, they're not humanoid like a lot of other species are. So I think that makes them much more interesting. Alright, so here's Warp Splinter. He's a former guardian of the Botanica, but he's become corrupted and also very dead. And definitely still not that hard to kill. Alright, so there's the most somber task. Now we've completed it, and if I keep running forward, yep, there is the portal out, as I promised. So next week, as I said, I will be doing Tempest Keep Arctraz, and we'll be going through that one. That one's got a fun kind of final boss phase, which is gonna I'll look forward to having you guys see. And all right, well, until next year, I wish everyone Happy New Year, and take care. Bye bye.